Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Zone Talks, episode 5. I hope I find you all very well indeed, and we will be discussing a Martha Jones spin off. I've seen an article, so we'll get into that. And also, former Doctor Who guest star that starred in Doctor Who and also starred in Sherlock has quit BAFTA, and we will get into that as well. But I did receive a message off Christian who says it might be possible to get him on live from Pensacon. As you know, he's gone to Pensacon. Apparently, what was it? A former doctors or something, or companions, doctors and companions are going to be at this. So hopefully I've sent them the link. So hopefully he'll be able to join us. I see Garbage is in the chat at the moment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We will be back again tonight, hopefully. I'm just waiting to verify if my two co-hosts can make it tonight. Because if they can't, we might take the night off. But we'll see. I'm pretty sure they will be here. We've got some stuff to talk about on Friday Night Contact. So that's 9 o'clock. Come and join us for that. So while we're waiting, I suppose we might as well just hold on. I just got a message from Christian. He thinks we're recording. We don't record. We go live. So we'll see what he has to say. But we've got Garbage in the chat. We've got Psychic Beats in the chat as well. Welcome. Nice to see you all here. As I said, we'll get into it. So while we're waiting on Christian, we might as well get into the first bit of news. And the reason why I'm covering this is because he's a former Doctor Who star. So former Doctor Who star Phil Davis resigns from BAFTA over award show, calling it an embarrassing travesty. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, he played the taxi man in A Study in Pink in Sherlock, and also he was in The Fires of Pompeii. So he's well known. He's been on British television for a long time, and you know he has decided to resign from BAFTA. So actor Phil Davis has dramatically resigned his BAFTA membership following last Sunday's award ceremony, calling the show an embarrassing travesty. Davis, who appeared in film and TV projects including Doctor Who, Vera Drake, and Alien 3, cited host Richard E. Grant's introduction, during which he pretended to arrive in a Batmobile before appearing in a floor-length white cape, as well as cuts made to winners' speeches during the broadcast on BBC One, and the omission of fellow Doctor Who actor Bernard Cribbins in the memoriam section. Now, this is what he said. He said, the BAFTA Awards were an embarrassing travesty, Davis tweeted on Wednesday, cutting deserving winners' speeches for toe-curling non-interviews, poor Richard E. Grant pretending to arrive in a Batmobile, and no Bernard Cribbins in the memoriam. I resign my membership. So there you go. There's his tweet right there for everybody to see on screen. He has decided to resign because of all the things that he mentioned. Now, we did speak about BAFTA Actually, I spoke about BAFTA on my member stream, but of course, because I showed some clips as well, that member stream was blocked worldwide. But I'll say what I said on my member stream. This is the same BAFTA that took away Noel Clarke's BAFTA based on an article, right? Based on an article. Now the police have came forward and says Noel hasn't got a case to answer, but yeah, they haven't reinstated Noel Clarke, and they have not given his BAFTA back and apologised to him. Right now, if you've seen the BAFTAs, and I haven't seen it all, but I've seen bits and pieces. I even played a video that was played during the BAFTAs of a woman singing and mentioning all the actresses' names and telling them how great they were. It was the cringiest piece of television I'd ever seen. But it's clear to see that the British film and TV industry is trying to mimic the American industry with the award ceremonies, over the top, self-indulgent, and as has been rightly pointed out, disrespectful to the winners for starters, and then imagine to be so disrespectful that you don't even mention Bernard Cribbins, who is an absolute legend of the screen in film and television, one of the best British actors of his generation, and they let him down. They did not even have the decency to feature. And then when they got backlash, when there was a backlash, they says, "Oh, we'll consider him for the next awards." And oh, by the way, he's on our online list. Not good enough. Not good enough. But what can I say? It's BAFTA. I'm not surprised. Absolutely disgusting organization. They take BAFTAs away, not based on evidence, by the way, but based on hearsay in a newspaper article now that is up for dispute at the moment. And just to remind, I should actually put the link in the chat for you. Noel Clarke will be doing a podcast. And on the podcast, he is going to be telling his side of the story. So this will be the first time properly that you will hear what Noel has to say about the whole situation out of the horse's mouth, as they say. And to me, it's about time. It's about time. So hold on, here we go. So this is the channel that you need to go, or this is the Twitter account that you need to follow to get more details on this podcast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link the Twitter account in the chat there for you. Go and follow. His name is James England. He runs a podcast that's supposed to be a very big podcast. And Noel Clarke, My Time to Speak Out, explosive podcast with Bulletproof and Brotherhood actor Noel Clarke coming soon. So Noel Clarke is about to speak up about all of the stuff that has been going on. And there's actually a photo of the two of them. I'll throw it up there on screen for you. There's that link. Sorry, everything's a bit slow here, but just bear with me. So here we go. My Time to Speak Out, explosive podcast with Bulletproof and Brotherhood actor Noel Clarke coming soon. And there you go. There's a photo of the two lads there. And this was obviously when they were recording the podcast. So, yeah. So go and follow this fella's Twitter account and look out for that podcast. It should be an interesting listen For people out there, that are interested in truth and justice, you will go and listen to this podcast. You know, Noel has openly admitted that he's not a perfect bloke, right? He's not. He has made some comments in the past, which he did. That was what he apologized for, if he made some women feel uncomfortable with certain comments that he made, right? Now, the other stuff that he's being accused of, that the more, what we'd say is the more disgusting, vile stuff that he has been accused of. As I said, none of these alleged victims went to the police, right? No crime was reported, verified by 4 other detectives. Noel Clarke accessed the Freedom of Information Act. He's never had a crime reported against him, and there was never any investigation. So, you know, people need to wise up. But this is the podcast to watch. So go and watch it. Interestingly enough, also, he's actually posted the Phil Davis article on what Phil said about the BAFTAs. But the BAFTAs are getting a lot of stick. We've had an actor resign. Will other actors or actresses out there have the guts to do what Phil Davis has done? And will they also do the same? Because, as I said, there seems to be a desperate attempt by the British and film industry and these award ceremonies to echo the American friends, right? But those American award ceremonies are a travesty. They're cringeworthy and they're absolutely ridiculous. BAFTA was one of the few awards that still had a little bit of dignity. You know, the English like to do things proper and all that, so we thought, you know. But now they've decided to be exactly like their American cousins, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And there's been a backlash. So Christian said he'll try jump in a bit. So that gives me time to move on to my next story. But hold on. Okay. So just give us a second. Hold on, just bear with me. As we said, we were going to try organize this for you, so I'm just sending them a message. Right, let's get into the next one. So I saw this interesting article about a Martha Jones spin-off that I want to bring up. We're pretty bad on news this week, to be quite honest. I could mention Jodie Whittaker's got another job, but as I said, I've moved on. I don't really care what she does now, to be quite honest with you. So that's why I'm not focused on it. Other channels will, and if you want to check those other channels out that still talk about the previous era, there's still plenty of channels out there as far as I'm aware, so you can check them out. I just refuse to talk about anything. But another thing as well, actually, I haven't been able to find anything on these alleged Chris Chibnall quotes at all. No newspaper article. If he said those things, they'd be in the Radio Times and there'd be articles about it. But I've seen no articles whatsoever on this Chris Chibnall thing, right? Of these alleged quotes that he made. So I'm going to actually say it I sniff a bit of bullshit going on somewhere, right? Because if he said those things, trust me, all the articles by the Radio Times and all of those other media outlets would be focused on that. I haven't been able to find any news in connection to these alleged comments. Now, you all know the way the media has been operating the last 5 years, right? So there's no way in the hell that they'd ignore something this big, right? So they could have a gloat, to call us out, because apparently one of the alleged comments that Chibs made is that, well, if people still don't think the doctor can be female, well, they're wrong. But again, as I said, I have not seen one article, one bit of video footage, or nothing that corroborates this. So I smell something very fishy is going on. Remember, we've already had the other side of the fandom come out with fake David Tennant quotes from Doctor Who magazine that were never said. And I think this might be another case of this. I think there's someone in the fandom, or there's a group of people in the fandom that are determined to have the fandom up in arms again, right? Because as I said, first of all, we get the fake David Tennant quotes, and now we're getting Chibnall apparently alleged quotes that he made, but I haven't been able to find that in connection to it. There's definitely something going on, folks. I think there's deliberate misinformation out there because there's a group of people on both sides of the fandom that can't let go and don't want to let go the last 5 years. They want to keep fighting and they want to keep arguing with each other about, you got one side, Jodie's the greatest doctor, and the other side, Jodie wasn't the doctor, right? You've all made your point, we get it, right? Some of you don't think she was a great doctor, and some people did think she was a great doctor, right? But at the end of the day, it's over. Move on, right? The era is done. So I don't know why there's people out there that are deliberately misrepresenting people out there. It needs to stop, but I have not seen. Now, if someone wants to prove me wrong and give me something, right, that comes directly from Chris Chibnall himself, some video footage or an actual article that backs these comments up, please send them to me, because I haven't been able to find it. And I know there's a couple of people in the chat, I won't mention their names, but there's a couple of people in the chat that find me some of the most obscure articles and send me stuff, right? And they haven't sent me none of this. So this is how I know there's something up, because those people in the chat that do that, find those articles from me, would have found this before I did, right? There's absolutely nothing to verify those comments. So I smell a rat somewhere. There's a rat somewhere. Anyway, let's get on to this Martha Jones spin-off article. It's by CBR, is it? By the way, the articles are in the link description as usual, as we always do. Yeah, CBR.com says Doctor Who, a Martha Jones spin-off is the perfect way to kick off a new era. Martha Jones is the beloved 10th Doctor companion who appeared on Torchwood. Her own spin-off is what Doctor Who needs to kickstart its new era. Now, I'm not gonna get into this whole article, right? But let's see why. This is the part here, why she deserves a Doctor Who spin-off. So let me see why they are saying she deserves a Doctor Who spin-off, and then I'll give you my opinion. Now, hold back on these our opinions for a minute, guys, right? I will get you our opinion on Martha Jones and a potential spin-off, but don't say anything yet. Let me read this first, and then I'll get you our opinion. In a brief time with the Doctor, Martha showed how much more capable she was than 90% of the companions in Doctor Who history. Martha's practice as a medical student saved her life and the life of countless others as she travelled across time and space with the doctor. She was patient and resilient when she was condescended because, always knew how to retaliate in the most satisfying ways. One notable example is in the time she shot down Nurse Redfern's racist comment by proving she was educated enough to be a medical student. Right, I'm not going to read any more of this article because clearly the person that's reading it or that's wrote it is a wokey. And the reason why they're a wokey is because, they said he retaliated with a racist comment. It was the time that it was. Context is everything here, right? Back then, whether you like it or not, it wouldn't have been racist. It is racist. Obviously, we all know that. But back then, it wouldn't have been racist, right? Now, do I agree with 90% of the companions in Doctor Who history? They're probably right, with the exception of Jamie, obviously. Ace. There's a lot of the classic companions, actually. But some of the new Who companions... Well, she's definitely better than Rose. She's not better than Donna. But she had her qualities. But interesting point. But here's the thing with CBR. They're not suggesting Martha Jones for a spin-off because she's a great actress, like we all know. She was in Torchwood and she was brilliant in Torchwood. And as you know, I've had Noel Clark, I should say, on the channel. And he spoke about that. He wrote something for the two of them. Also, he was supposed to feature more in Doctor Who and in Torchwood. But the reason why CBR bring it up is because they're not interested in the fact that she's a great actress. They're just interested in the fact that she ticks a box and that's skin color, right? Because that's how pathetic the media are nowadays. Listen, should she have her own Torchwoods, or should she have her own spin-off show? Absolutely, I'd give her a spin-off show. I think she's a talented actress. I'd love to see her back. But for me, you don't necessarily have to put her in her own spin-off show. Why not bring back Torchwood and make Martha Jones part of the Torchwood team? When she joined up with Torchwood, when she joined up, she was brilliant in Torchwood. Right? So you get her to work for Torchwood, because at the end of the Stolen Earth Journey's End, there seems to be a clear indication that they're going to work for Captain Jack and Torchwood. So I would prefer her to be in Torchwood, because there's going to be plenty of other spin-offs that are going to be happening. If Barrowman's coming back, replace him with Martha. If Barrowman isn't coming back, replace him with Martha. I mean, that would work, JWC reviews. And, I'd watch it. I would watch it. But John Barrowman has already apologized all those years ago. It was dealt with. Just because a couple of morons in the fandom decided to kick it all up again, he got cancelled. And I think that's unfair. I think, if RTD should remember, actually, the people that made Doctor Who successful for him the first time. Wasn't just his writing, it was the actors and actresses that he brought in. He knows that John Barrowman paid for what he did all those years ago because he was able to continue in the fandom. Now, if RTD has any stones, and he's already made it clear that, because you heard his comments that he made about the industry, saying there was a lack of creativity, a lack of proper people in the plate, because, like, you know, they go in with the intentions of being woke. Like, he called it out. So if he's going along with that whole ideal, well, then he should reinstate John Barrowman, because he's not going to pander to these people. So bring back John Barrowman. Bring him back. I honestly think, I know, yeah, they did. There was a bit of communication between the two of them. But look, we all know John Barrowman did wrong. Nobody is denying that for a second, right? The problem that we all have, or I have, with the whole situation is that he was reprimanded all those years ago, right? And the people that he did it to haven't complained since. Okay? So it was dropped, forgotten about, and John was able to move on. Now, whether that was right or wrong is besides the point now, because all of these years have passed. Right? You can't punish a man because the system back in the day you don't believe was good enough, so he should be cancelled now. That's not how it works, man. He has did exactly what he said he wasn't going to do. He has behaved himself and he has moved on and has been able to move on. So for me, look, personally speaking, there is no Torchwood without John Barrowman. I'm just, from my own point of view, I would give Friedman every opportunity to make it work if they decided to bring her in and to lead Torchwood, maybe with Gwen or whatever, whoever they're going to bring back, right? Fair enough. I'll give it a go because it's her. Because I think she was. I'm being honest, you know, we've been so lucky with companions, but at the same time, Friedman deserved more than one full season, and then in Series 4, then obviously she made an appearance in it, but and obviously she did go on an adventure with the Doctor when the Doctor's daughter and stuff like that. But you know, she never really. We only got one full season, is what I'm trying to say, and the same with Bill Potts as well. You know what I mean? There's a couple other companions. Donna obviously is the most extreme case because all of her timeline was wiped and, well, our memories were wiped and we're all sad. But yeah, look, you know, it's an interesting idea. Of course, the media are still in this propaganda, you know, activism stage. They still haven't changed. Yes, bring her back, but don't bring her back for the reasons that CBR and the media want her back for. You bring her back because she's a talented actress and she actually deserves another crack in the Doctor Who universe, whether it is her own spin-off, whether it is Torchwood, or whether it's bringing her back to Doctor Who. You know, I would love to see Martha Jones come back to Doctor Who, without a shadow of a doubt. But we've got to wait and see. But again, you know, CBR are like saying, well, what a way to kick off the franchise. Again, they're kind of dismissing the David Tennant 60th anniversary because, you know, they don't want a white bloke playing the Doctor anymore. Right? You seen the reaction when David Tennant was brought back. You know, you know, people back in the old days, we used to call that racism, right? But because, you know, we're living in a society full of weirdos now, they're telling people, oh, well, you can't be racist to white people, racism, racism, um, racism has no, what would you call it? Has no boundaries. It doesn't matter what your fucking skin color is. If someone is saying stuff because of who you are, then they're racists. And the story. We got a couple of comments. Let me see. So yeah, what would you like to see? A Martha Jones spin-off, or would you like to see her back in Torchwood? Uh so Chris says if they can't bring John Barrowman back to reprise his role as Captain Jack, having Martha become the interim leader of Torchwood would work for me. And as we heard, John commented on Russell's post and he responded, yeah, look, RTD knows quite well that John Barrowman has been used as a scapegoat by these people to further their agenda, right? Sick of them. Now, let's see. We got a couple of other comments there that I just want to go back to because some people did. So Chris brings up a perfect point. People should stop being offended on behalf of others who weren't offended in the first place. This whole cancel culture needs to stop. It does. Psychic Beat says, I think Martha should be the lead in a unit spin off, to be honest. Yeah, but I think it was indicated, as I said, because then when the 10th Doctor was leaving, do you remember Martha and Mickey were doing their own thing and they were married? So I don't know how you would fit that in. It'd make more sense that they were working for Torchwood because Jack was off Pine, and do you remember? And then he meets a lot. The Doctor introduces him to Alonso. So maybe Mickey and Martha were were actually holding the fort with maybe Gwen Torchwood. Martha having her memory wiped didn't work. A human can't have all the memories of a Time Lord. It would kill them. Ignoring Rose had merged with the Tardis, was already eons older than the Doctor. The main show needs to be firmly established, then maybe one spin off at a time. Well, Marvel have slowed down. Maybe Kevin Feige listened to what I said. This has been the big issue with the big major corporations out there. They've oversaturated the market with too many spin offs. And what happens is, you can very quickly dilute everything. It needs to be done with precision. And I do agree, the main show has to be established first before you even start introducing spin offs. But we'll see. We will see what RTD does. JWC Review says Sticker and Torchwood get the best of both worlds. Cinnamon Toast Crunch says, I'm not quite sure what the show would be about if it was just about Martha. Makes sense for her to just come back for Torchwood. And I know you meant Donna Noble. Yeah. I was kind of like thinking, I think he meant Donna. What a Torchwood team he would. That would be Jack, Alonso, Gwen, Mickey, and Martha. It could be interesting dynamic. Definitely would. Um, Again, though, let's make clear, we're all for this if it's done properly. A lot of Doctor Who fans do fear this because they've seen Marvel and DC saturate and dilute their franchises and dilute their characters. This is, if done properly, it can be amazing. So, we've got to trust in RTD's ability. And, I think over the years he's proven to us um, that he still has the right and chops. So we'll see, 60th first, then obviously shoot his fourth season, see how that goes, see what the numbers are like, and then do a second season of Doctor Who. Then when the second season is kicking in, then that's when you start talking about spin-offs and stuff like that. I remember the fourth season is going to be very up and down, and I mean ratings wise, you know, um, because there has been a lot of damage done. So RTD's job is very difficult. He has to win a lot of fans over. So hopefully there is he's able to convince a lot of fans during the 60th to give Shooty a go. And if he can do that, then as I said, Shooty should get off to a flying start. And if the numbers just keep going up or they maintain, remember, the numbers haven't really maintained over the last 5 years under the Chibnall era. So if we get certain ratings, but then they kind of stay and fluctuate, go a bit higher each week, we'll be fine. And we know we're on an upward trajectory, you know? Bad Wolf is just one production team. I think Disney must have loads. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure right now Disney obviously can have the rights to show Doctor Who, but it hasn't been, as far as I know, when they did the statement, there was no word on whether Disney were going to be getting exclusively the spin offs as well. I'm pretty sure that's the way it will go. Of course, us in Ireland and the UK will have access to them. Psychic Pete says, I reckon David Tennant episodes will be a massive in the ratings when Shooty comes in. It'll all depend on whether people like him as the Doctor. Yeah, and how good the specials introduce him. I actually agree with you there, but I think Shooty is saying and doing all the right things anyway. And he seems confident, and that's good. I like that. I like that. He's embraced it. He's been watching. He's been watching some of the Doctor Who stories that we have out there. RTD gave him a pack, introduced him to Doctor Who, and he was making comments on his Instagram account and getting engrossed in it and loving it. And I think is becoming a Doctor Who fan, proper one, not a pretend Doctor Who fan, because trust me, Miss Whitaker will not watch the 60th or Shooty in action, like she claims that she be, she's not the Doctor anymore. Now she could sit back and watch as a fan. No, we never bought that. You never were a fan and you won't watch it. You'll move on. And that's exactly the way it should be. Right, let's see what the story is with Christian. Shooty smile reminds me a lot of Tom Baker's smile. That beaming grin, says Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Um, yeah, well, remember, folks, we're coming to the end of February now, and then we're into March. So as I said, you know, the start of the year always flies in. It's when we get to bleeding April, May, it starts dragging in then. Um, but remember, there's still lots that RTD and his team have to reveal to us, and we've got that to look forward to. Um, so I can't wait. I can't wait. So as I said, don't forget, every Monday here on the channel, we've got new Who's On at 7 p.m. Tuesdays is member streams. Times will vary on those streams, folks, but every Tuesday, member stream. Wednesday, we got Classic Who's On at 6:30, where we'll be discussing the latest story. And then, as you are listening right now, for the Tardis Zone Talks, we start at 5:45, and tonight, hopefully at 9, one of my co-hosts may not be able to make it. So there's not much news going on, but I do have a little bit of news, obviously, to talk about on tonight's Friday Night Contact, but it's nothing really major. But hopefully we'll be here at 9 o'clock. If it doesn't happen, I will let you guys know. I will throw up a little video on the channel to let you know if my co-host can make it, because if two of them can't make it, then there's no point of coming on. Well, I suppose I could, but the whole point was to have some co-hosts. But yeah, actually forgot to add as well. So Noel Clark, as you know, I mentioned him earlier on, and I forgot to actually mention this. So he threw this up on. Bear with me for a second. Yeah, he threw this up. What I'm about to show you now. He threw this up on Twitter earlier. So he wrote, "Traumatic morning. A man dropped down and died in front of me. Myself and two others gave aid, kept it going until the ambulance arrived. Defibbed, brought his heart back, but not out of the woods. Pray for him. Won't say be kind, because people aren't, but maybe don't harm others. Hug your loved ones." So yeah, he had a very traumatic morning. So him and a few others saved someone's life. You know, it's he is right though. It's nobody knows what's around the corner. But yeah, can't believe that actually I don't know how you deal with something like that. I mean, you know, I pulled someone out of a wrecked car once. That was pretty traumatic. Um, Obviously the person survived. But yeah, this apparently is a guy that's selfish. Has a bit of an ego. Is an evil person, according to others out there. And there he is, minding his own business, and you know him and a couple of others, which we have to mention because Noel again mentions that there was other people there, so he's not taking credit for it. But again, can I just say, I'm not trying to use this in any way, but if imagine if this was a court case, right, and Noel's character was being questioned. Well, you can't question his character. Um, so again, this is another facet to all of this. Noel helping people. Apparently, he's an evil, awful person. He only thinks about himself and stuff like that. Apparently, you know. And there he is with three other people, a couple of other people, and they keep the first aid going until the ambulance get there, and they may have possibly helped save that person's life. So again, you should always be aware that there are people just out there, willing and just absolutely are just determined to paint someone as a completely different character. And we've seen that with people all over the place. That's what they do. They go after your character. Um, they've done it to plenty of people out there in the fandom, and they've done it to a lot of actors and actresses. This cancel culture, as Chris said, it does need to end. It needs to stop. People need to wake up. But unfortunately, that's don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But we just need to keep speaking up about it. And when there is an injustice, you know, speak up, because if we stay silent, a lot of people have said to me, and I've got a lot of private messages as well. No, I think this is a bad idea that you're supporting Noel Clarke. Um, you know, you shouldn't be supporting him because he's this, that, and the other. But as I said, the situation and the facts are this. There's no police investigation. No alleged crimes were reported. And a piece in a newspaper is not evidence. It's all alleged and hearsay, basically. Because if you read into it and you deep dive into it, it's like someone saying, well, this person is saying that, well, he has certain things. Uh, he has photos of you and this, that, and the other. Right? It's not actually coming from these people's mouths themselves. It's a web that has been woven. But even the main culprits that are in the article that were exposed by John the White, I believe personally, after I got a hold of a lot of information, which I will be doing on the channel and haven't forgotten, by the way. I think there's one main culprit who has used and manipulated these women, and this is a clear, in my opinion, a clear revenge for something that happened in the past. Now, the culprit I won't mention on the channel right now, but let's just say the culprit has been in trouble with the law. And the culprit that I believe is behind all of this, that is actually pulling all the strings, has befriended certain people. Listen, when I do this stream, it's amazing, right? This person has links to basically the main architects of this Guardian article. And all I will say is it stinks to high hell. And this, to me, is revenge for something that happened years ago. And Look, Noel is about to speak his side of the story. As I said, the link to that Twitter account that's hosting that podcast is in the chat. So go and check it out. Go and listen to what Noel has to say when the podcast comes out. Obviously, we'll get more details. But it's going to be interesting to see how much he's actually willing to say. But it is absolutely, in my opinion, imperative that everybody that believes that he's innocent, and even those that believe that he's guilty, to go and listen to him. Listen to his side of the story and listen to what he has to say, right? Because he should be given that opportunity. It's simple as that. As I said, I'm not going to mention any names right now. Because obviously I will bring it all up when I do that video. And I have a lot of stuff to get through. So this is going to be a long ass stream. I'll also have a lot of stuff to put up on screen and show you some stuff. So it's gonna be one of those streams that's probably gonna go on about 2-3 hours, if I'm quite honest with you, to get through everything that I need to get through. Now, while researching all of this and the stuff that I was handed over, I have went into all of these old Twitter accounts and people that were saying disgusting things back then. It's funny that some of them have kept their tweets up and some of them obviously have either their Twitter account has completely disappeared or they've protected their Twitter account, or the tweet that they originally tweeted is no longer available. But I do have transcripts of conversations, and I do have other stuff that was given to me. And we will be doing that stream. I'm just waiting on the perfect time, and I think the perfect time is about to come up soon. So we'll wait, bide me time with this, and then we'll strike. And then hopefully then it opens it all up and serious questions are asked, because that's what we're here for. We're here to get justice for Noel Clarke. I stand by Noel Clarke because I've gotten to know the chap now. As he said, we're not friends, right? Two people that met, obviously, online, right? But he trusts me and I trust him, right? I've gotten to know the chap. I've spoke to him. And from everything and every conversation and every interaction that I've had with him, he's been so nice. So I don't see this picture that other people are painting when the evidence shows it to be other people, and you will get what I'm talking about when I do that stream. But I don't think we're going to get Christian on. I don't know what's happened. He doesn't appear to be online now. That's a shame. It's a shame. So yeah, I'll just text him again just to see. Okay. Right. Oh, I watched the second. Yeah, we will. I will be talking the second episode of Picard as well, very briefly tonight if we're going live. Hold on. Right, I've just told him I've covered everything that needs covering. If he's coming on to let me know, so we'll see what happens there with that. But yeah, I mean, look, what? Hold on. Oh, I just got a bleeding fright there, man. I seen R.I.P. Tom in the bleeding trending, and of course, don't do Twitter. Don't do that to me, man. Oh yeah. As I said, for Friday night contact. So just to give you a kind of a brief rundown of what we're going to be talking about tonight. Um, just before we head off, because I don't. Oh, hold on. I think he's coming on now. Anyway, yeah, we will be. So apparently, this is the topics that we'll be covering on Friday night contact. So Sir Bob Geldof is in trouble because apparently he misgendered Sam Smith, leaving Good Morning fans in fury. Apparently, a new Lord of the Rings films are in the works at Warner Brothers. We should all be very afraid. Haley, is a Hallie Bailey opens up about the racist backlash she's received playing Ariel. So we'll be talking about that as well. And Ben Stiller apparently had to defend Robert Downey Jr. over blackface in Tropic Thunder. So that's what we'll be talking about. And HBO Max have ordered the It prequel series Welcome to Derry, and we will be talking about that too. So that's on Friday night contact tonight. So if you want to join us for that, you're more than welcome to do so. Fun times ahead. So, do I have to send a link again? I probably do. So hold on. We might have him on before I head off. Here we go. Okay, let's see. It's going to be crazy here. I can already see him. He's outside. He's outside. Hello, Christian. How are
Hey,
you? Oh,
hi.
Lloyd from Pentagon. How are you doing, pal?
I'm so, I'm trying my best. I'm outside and I look like hell because the humidity is just horrible out here. So apologies if I look like utter crap. But let me. I'm not able to hear you. I have to put the phone by my ear. But let me just do a little bit of what's going on right now. If you got a minute, I'll show you what I can see. Um,
hold on, Christian. Before you do that, right? What I'll do is I'll remove me from the screen and I'll make you big screen, and you could talk to everybody in the chat and let them know what you're looking at. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, guys. I'm gonna remove myself for just a second, and I'll hand you over to Christian.
Oh, am I big now? So today we're at Pensacon in Pensacola, Florida. There are 12 celebrities, including 2 artists, 5 doctors, and a plethora of companions that are here, but they're inside this building behind me. Show you around. Here's the main entrance, and you can see it's packed. It's really packed out there. And they're still coming in as we speak, and they're still checking in at the security, which is at the end of the road down here. Here's the main stage outside, right here, where they're performing. And you're going to love this, Noel. Tons of food trucks. Tons of food trucks, and they're all right behind me. And to just show you one of 2 Daleks that are premiered here at the Legend of the Traveling Tardis stand. This is Dalek Ren. Dalek Hal is inside touring the building right now. So, and this is the main facility. This is the Pensacon Bay Convention Center. And you can probably see, I don't know if you can see it up there, there's the Pensacon banner. And everybody out here, they're just having a great time. Look at this, though. They're all still getting up over here. James, by the way, this is James from Geek to Me Radio.
Hello.
And James, if you fix the banner for me?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's been happening. The wind has been really messy to our tent, but here's our banner for the Traveling Tardis. And just to give you an idea of what our tent looks like, there you go. And actually, as funny as it sounds, we've got our own Traveling Tardis right here. This is Tiny Tardis, spelled Tini. The gentleman who made that TARDIS left it with us and said, "Can you just watch this TARDIS while I go away?" I'm just like, okay, yeah, I could use another TARDIS out here. So it's been century fun. By the way, just to let James know, this is Noel from TARDIS Zone.
Oh, very nice.
So that's everything in a nutshell. I've only been inside once. This is my first time here at Pensacon, so this has just been a riot, and it's great after a post-pandemic world that people are just having a great time. People are doing their own thing, and they're all geeking out with each other, and it's just a beautiful sight to see. Yeah, if you just happen to be in the North Florida area by Pensacola, tickets are still available for Friday and Sunday. They sold out their weekend passes. And unfortunately, Saturday sold out, and that's the only day that Christopher Eccleston's going to be here. But if you still want to get to see the other celebrities, they have a discounted rate if you go to it's pensacon.com, and they have a deal for their Friday, which is today and Sunday. And we will have panels all weekend. We have one at 3:15 this afternoon. It's just wild, man. It's just really wild. So in a nutshell. So that's why I can't be on the show today, but I hope you don't mind. This is the reason why. And we're spreading the word and love of the Traveling TARDIS and Doctor Who out there. So sorry for the delays. It's been a crazy day out here. I mean, I'll tell you all about it when I get back home, but it's been really crazy since the moment I got out here.
Well, listen, you have an absolute blast, and say hello to everybody. And you look after yourself and stay safe. And listen, thanks for coming on and showing us around. That was absolutely fantastic.
No, I appreciate it. I can't see the chats. Did anybody have a comment or a question before I head out?
Just a couple of people just saying hello to you. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Garbage. There's a couple of people there in the chat. We've got a couple of people in the chat and people watching live now. So yeah.
I'm so sorry if I can't. For whatever reason on my cell phone, I can't see the chats. I can only see the camera and stuff. But I just want to let you know we are having an incredible blast. I don't know if you get copyright strike if I listen to that music. So I don't know if I should go or not. But
it's all right. It's all right. Can't really hear it that well, so that's
well, no.
that's okay.
Did you have any questions or have anything that you wanted to talk about?
So who? Yeah, I was just going to ask you, who are you hoping to meet now while you're here?
I'm hoping to meet everybody.
Oh,
I really do. I have never met. We never had Janet on the show, and I really like to talk to her. We're going to be talking with Kelly Yates, who's an artist, a Doctor Who artist. And actually, can he come? Can he come back? Can he come back real fast? I just want to give a shout out to somebody real fast.
no problem.
Daniel, hope you don't mind using your photo. We're live with Tardis Zone in the UK. Noel runs the Tardis Zone, and I just wanted to give you a shout out for your tiny TARDIS. If you don't know.
Hello, everybody.
That's a gentleman who make tiny TARDIS, and can we see a tiny moment?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You got to see this, Noel. Oh shoot. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the wind has just been. It's been really windy, and my banner is just like a sail out here right now.
Yeah, you should get plenty of fluids into you. Drink plenty of water, Christian.
It's okay, dude. Daniel, it's okay. We'll fix it in a minute. We'll just see your moment for a moment.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, let me just.
tiny TARDIS.
This is tiny.
Here we have the moment box.
There we
Oh,
go.
lovely. Wow.
Noel saying wow.
Wow, that's impressive.
And
Holy
then, yeah,
moly.
it moves. And not only that, but Dan showed we should sit on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that sturdy.
Wow. That's lovely, man.
Not often would you stand on a weapon.
Why would you stand on Billy Piper like that? How dare you? I'm sorry, Miss Piper. I'm really sorry. So there you go. No, I wanted to give a shout out to our friend because he really did a great job on Tiny TARDIS in the moment. So there you go. There you have it. And I'll see you guys this coming Tuesday. Of course, we're going to have an episode. Don't know what yet. It might be about Pensacola. It might be reviewing a classic New Who episode. But yeah. Noel, did you have any questions or anything you wanted to talk about while we're out here?
No, I was just going to say, do you want to tell everybody what you have coming up on the channel, and if you have any little things that are coming up while you're there that's going to feature on the channel? If you want to do your shout outs now, you can.
Okay, well, I'm at facebook.com, The Traveling TARDIS, youtube.com/The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. A lot. We've been getting a lot of comments that we haven't done anything like classic or classic New Who. Oh, what happened there? Oh, we're giving it. The wind is just not going to be cooperating. We haven't done classic New Who. Now, you got to keep in mind, we started 5 years ago, and the first episode that we did was the day before Jodie Whittaker premiered. So we never really had a chance to do anything of classic. We did a review of the TV movie and stuff, but we're going to be doing stuff like Rose, Love and Monsters, the stuff that people have been asking, and we're just like, no, we haven't done an episode because we just never got a chance to it. So as we enter the 60th anniversary, we're going to be reviewing classic New Who, some classic, and as we get into the 60th, we'll be reviewing the 3 Doctors, the 5 Doctors, and the 2 Doctor anniversary specials. So that's what we got coming up out here. And you guys have fun, stay safe. I hope to see you somewhere out here, wherever you are in the universe. And if you're in Pensacola, please come out. It is awesome. We're having a great time.
Fantastic, Christian. Listen, thanks for coming on. I know you're really busy, so I'll let you get back to whatever you're doing. And listen, as I said, have a blast, mate. Enjoy yourself.
No, I appreciate it. I'm sorry about the time over here has been wibbly wobbly. And you know how weird it is? Florida is in 2 time zones. Wow. And I didn't realize, I've never crossed time zones before. But when I got to Pensacola, I changed time. So I was here an hour early. So I was like, damn. So I'm getting used to time zone-ish.
Yeah. Well, as I said, listen, mate, have a blast. Enjoy the interviews, and hopefully we'll see plenty of content on the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
Definitely will. You take care of yourself. Everybody out there, the Tardis
You
Zone, make
too.
sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment, get our algorithms going, because that's how you support us. And don't forget, I forgot, no, Queen Charlotte needs a new microphone, so make sure you're joining membership so Noel can get her a new microphone. That's all I'm saying. We love you, Queen Charlotte. Mwah. And I will catch you next time, guys. Thank you so much.
See you later, Christian. Thanks for popping on, buddy. See you. Bye. Absolutely fantastic. So there you go. That's what Christian is up to right now. A little behind the scene. Yeah, I do. Yeah, when he said UK, I didn't want to correct him, of course, but yeah, I'm from the Republic of Ireland. We're not part of the UK, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's gonna have a blast. But that was a nice way to end it there for now. But again, check out the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, because I'm pretty sure there'll be plenty of content in relation to Pensacon or Pensacola. What do you call it? Pensacola. So yeah, check it out. Check it out. It'll be absolutely worth watching. He's got interviews lined up as well, so it'll be absolutely fantastic. So as he said, there's plenty of content out there for you guys, Doctor Who related, even though the main show is not on at the moment, there's still plenty for Doctor Who fans to enjoy and revel in. So, yeah, if you want to see Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, Christian, again, just go back a few minutes in the video. He was live at Pensacon, folks, and he gave us a little sneak peek. And as I said to those guys, I hope they have a great time. But that little the moment box was bleeding brilliant, wasn't it? And the tiny TARDIS, and we got to see a Dalek as well. So there you go. As I said, go and like, share, and subscribe. And as he said as well, it is, even after these streams are finished, I know a lot of you leave comments here and stuff like that, and you get involved. That's absolutely fantastic. But why not continue the chat in the comment section on these TARDIS Zone talks? And the same with Friday Night Contact. As Christian said, it all helps the algorithm and gets the channel noticed and gets the channel out there. So, yeah, I know some of you already go into the comment section and you leave some comments, but a lot more of you are there. A lot more of you could go in and interact with guys in the chat, and it'll be absolutely fantastic. And of course, if you want to become a member, there's 2 tiers. Remember, every Tuesday we do a member stream. We've kept to the schedule now. What are we now? I think we're about a month in, a little bit more in now, and we've kept to the schedule. We'll continue to keep to the schedule. Obviously, when New Who finishes with Peter Capaldi, we'll be putting something else there in its place. So obviously, that doesn't happen until we get to Twice Upon a Time, and then that'll be it then for Peter, and then that's us finished with New Who Zone. And we got Tim in the chat, and he says, hi, everyone. Nice to see you in the chat, mate. Nice to see you. The Clone Ranger says, Shooty is going to be popular, I think. Yeah, I mean, look, one final question actually to end on, and I'll get you all to fire in these our answers, and I'll read out as many as I can. As it stands right now, how is everybody feeling? About the new era of Doctor Who under RTD, and how are they feeling about Shooty Gatwa now at the moment? So let me know in the comments there. We'll read those comments out. Thanks to the Clone Ranger for actually bringing that up. So we'll end with that question. So where are you with RTD and Shooty right now? Are you looking forward to Doctor Who? Are you still cautious? Is there people out there that's still not going to watch? Let me know how you are feeling. Cinnamon Toast Crunch says extremely optimistic. Raymond Williams says, I remain confident in RTD's writing and that Shuey is the right actor to play the Doctor, but I'm not a fan of his outfits. Oh, yeah, well, a lot of people aren't happy with his costume. I will say that. People are very divided on his costume. But as I said, when we see him in full flow, we see him in the episode, and if he's good, the costume, we won't really focus on the costume because we'd be focusing on how good Shuey is. Laura Thought says, how am I feeling? 0 for 2. I think it is going to be a train wreck, says Laura Thought. The Clone Ranger says he's popular actor, especially with younger people. Open-minded about it. Wish him and RTD well. The Warped Eyebrow says, I'm still cautious. I can't lie. There's just some faint smell of ugliness lingering for me. Psychic Beat says, feeling exceptionally good. The new costume is way better than the original they announced. Even better if the new one stays, says Psychic Beats. Yeah, because he is wearing 2 distinctly different costumes. Bobby D 75 says good so far with it all. So there seems to be a pretty positive vibe. Of course, there are fans out there that just can't forgive because of the last 5 years, and I don't blame them. As I said, I don't blame fans out there that think that this might be a train wreck or think all of the things that they're thinking. Why should they think any different after the last 5 years? It's going to be very difficult for some fans out there to kind of not erase all of the last 5 years, but to put it on the back burner. RTD still has a lot to prove and has a lot of winning over to do. Again, Tim is there, but he wants it to be good, and he'll watch. Here's the staying optimistic. See, this is what I mean. Everybody deep down wants it to succeed because we want it to be good because we've been let down so many times before. But there are fans like Tim, like Jack, who have been, Jack's been on and made his position clear and gave his points of view on it. There are fans that are still scared shitless. And they're just hoping that it's not more of the same. And I can understand that. Cinnamon Toast Crunch says, I think Shaft is definitely an inspiration. And as Tim said there, he wants it to be good and he will watch. And here's the staying up. So you know what I mean? They just, again, as I said, I don't blame people like Tim having opinions like that and feeling like that. The people I kind of have a problem with is the ones that have wrote it off completely already. And I don't think that's fair. I think we do, and we have tended to do that over the last few years because obviously the state the industry is in. And again, in some aspects, I don't blame all of that. But sometimes I wish, that we just waited and see what happens first, and then we can all judge, But that's easier said than done for some. And, we've got to understand that. At least people wanted to do well and are hopeful, says Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I agree. That's what I mean. People will have their doubts. People will have their opinions. People will have their criticisms. But deep down, they all are like us. They wanted to succeed. They just don't want to be let down again. And I understand that 100%. I mean, I've gone full blown into this, right? I know that I'm setting myself up for a huge fall, right? But at the end of the day, I've got to believe that there is some hope and optimism. And I think RTD has brought that. You know, you got off to a rocky start, but I think since then, I've liked everything that I've seen and heard so far. Now we just have to see it all unfold on screen and see if it's good enough. But I know I am setting myself up, but I always said that I would take that L because I want to believe that RTD has Doctor Who's best interests at heart. And to be quite honest with you, I don't think there is any doubt in that because of what he did with the show on his previous era, his previous run, when he brought the show back onto screen. RTD has been a better showrunner than Chibnall already. He obviously loves the program. Chibnall was not present at all. I agree. And Tim giving a thumbs up there. As I said, everybody deep down does want this to work. But they do have that fear. And you can't blame it. No, we've been let down for the last 5. I haven't forgotten. People think I've forgotten. I haven't. I just don't want to dwell on it because I don't want to stay in this negativity cycle that I see on other YouTube channels. You know, it's not good for anybody. But I've got to believe that RTD has good intentions. And looking at his previous era and listening to everything that he said since he had that rocky start. And, you know, he came out with the comments about, remember, he's actually come out and said it, that, you know, the industry was hiring these people that weren't even qualified. And these people didn't get into these jobs because they wanted these jobs. They got into them because they wanted to get into positions of power so they could start them with their agenda and their activism. Right? They didn't care about the writing. He's come out and actually said that. So again, that reinforced my belief that he has best intentions, that he's not going to pander, that all of these characters that he's introducing are all going to be fleshed out like they were in his previous era, if not so much better, because obviously he's moved on and done some brilliant work since then. So, you know, yeah, I'll be optimistic. I'll give him a go. I'm looking forward to the 60th. I think everybody will tune into the 60th either way. Even the ones that have wrote it off will watch the 60th. Because deep down, as I said, deep down there's a little spark in everybody. Do you remember that episode when Rose and Mickey and the Doctor went to the parallel universe? And the Doctor finds the little piece of the TARDIS and he blows into and gives 10 years of his life away. That's what it's like. There's a little spark inside every Doctor Who fan, right? And even those that have wrote it off have this little spark inside them. And all they're waiting on is for someone to come along, do this show the way it should be done, and have great stories to reignite that spark, right? They've all got it, right? Even the ones that publicly come out and have rejected it, they have that little spark. That's why they're still talking about the show. Because deep down, everybody still cares, no matter what front people put on, right? Okay? They all still love Doctor Who. They haven't stopped loving Doctor Who. They may have stopped being fans of the show, but they're always going to be a Doctor Who fan. It's always going to be part of them. So, as I said, RTD has a lot of work to do. So far, after the rocky start that he had, right, he's got his head down. He's said and done all the right things. We've gotten a trailer, well, a little teaser trailer. You know, we're all excited. Well, I'm all excited for the 60th. You know, there's still plenty of more announcements to be made. There's still plenty of more things for fans to get excited about. And, you know, as I said, he will have the hardest job. Remember, bringing the show back in 2005, right, is nothing compared to what he's dealing with today, right? In 2005, it was unknown territory, right? If the show hadn't have worked out, it would have been okay, fair enough, you know, but it didn't. Obviously, it succeeded. He's in a lot more difficult position than he was back in 2005 because since then, fans have actually literally come to hate the show, right? Some have turned their back on the show, right? You've got a fandom that's split into different factions all over the place, right? So, seriously, right? You've got merchandise sales down. The Doctor Who magazine was struggling, which is not struggling anymore all of a sudden, right? So Doctor Who magazine saved, right? Big Finish will be up in the ante now because it's the 60th anniversary year. So they'll start pumping out now more Big Finish audios. Big Finish will be in a good place, right? And then, of course, when they do start introducing merchandise for the 60th and for Shooty's era, I'm pretty sure merchandise will start selling again anyway. It won't be the dip that it was. So already he's turned some things around. And he hasn't even showed us anything on screen yet. Remember, the Doctor Who magazine, the first issue of the RTD era that I couldn't get my hands on, and we ordered it from the Who shop, and then now, this is what they told us. So here's the gas thing, right? So apparently the Doctor Who magazine was bouncing from Ireland to the UK. It's been bouncing from Ireland to the UK when did that first issue come out? What, October? November? Whenever it was. So it's been bouncing apparently. So I told her to cancel the order. It's like comparing Ole Gunnar to Ten Hag. Yeah, there is no comparison. But I won't get into what happened last night. But as a Manchester United fan, all I'm just going to say to all our rivals out there, we're back. Fear us, because next year, when he actually has money to spend and can bring in the players that he wants, we're winning everything. We're winning everything. Right? We're winning everything. We're back. Doctor Who is like an ex you want to get back with. Plenty of love there, but trust is key. And that's exactly what it is. And that's what RTD has to do. He has to regain that trust. First-time writers, first-time directors. Doctor Who isn't a youth training scheme. Cinnamon Toast says, we need the magic back. Absolutely agree with you on that one. Doctor Who fan up until 2017, then 2023 onwards is garbage. Loads of announcements to come. Raymond says, my Who collection starts from 63 to 17. Haven't bought anything since Peter left. Let's hope I'm collecting the box sets again. Again, that's my collection right there as well. I've none of the Whittaker era. I finish at Capaldi like you all. And that's the way it should be. Fear the walking Whovians. Yeah, and fear the waking Whovians as well. Because if RTD gets the magic back in Doctor Who, all of those fans that disappeared will be back. Again, though, kind of have a problem with those type of fans, because why didn't you stay and fight for the show? Now, maybe I just have a different mentality, but that's what I would have. That's what I did. What am I saying? But a lot of people just ran away. But if you want to run away, you can run away. Yeah. Listen, I think we can win the title. Arsenal are wobbling. Manchester City's defense is not great at all. We're going to smash Liverpool. Listen, those two teams keep dropping points. We keep winning games, right? The media and even our own fan base don't want to actually admit we're in a title race. I said this a month ago, 6 weeks ago, actually. We're in a title race. We've been in a title race. Will we win it? Probably not. But we are in a title race. But the way that team played yesterday, I should say the 2 legs against Barcelona, I actually think we can win the league. I don't think it's a stretch at all. I think if these players keep putting the work in, keep doing what the manager is telling them to do, that's working, we'll get results. So, but I don't want to keep talking about football anyway, because nobody likes me talking about football on this channel. Bobby did say, I did get The Power of the Doctor on DVD. Well, I can kind of understand why you did that, because of the classic companions and doctors in it. But yeah, I know you meant the Carabao Cup. We'll win that as well. Don't worry, we'll smash Newcastle. With the amount of different costumes, JFO says, with the amount of different costumes Shooty has so far that we've seen, the toys of himself in different costumes is going to make a lot of money, says JFO. Noel, do you collect figures at all? Yeah, I have a few, but I've accidentally decapitated a couple of me doctors. Actually, I had all the doctor figurines, and what happened is I had them in a place where basically I knew there was a chance of an accident, but I didn't think I'd actually, knock them over. But yeah, I decapitated a few of me doctors, so I'm actually pissed about that. Because it was a nice little collection. I actually put a video up a couple of years ago on the channel showing the figures. But yeah, as I said, they fell. They're not. They were very fragile. But yes, it would be great to see you back on top. It will. I had to Google the football comparison, says the Clone Ranger. I've spent too much on Jody era products as Cinnamon Toast Crunch and accidentally decapitated. Yeah, I did. Listen, those figures that I had, right? I originally had them on top of me PlayStation. And this is how it all went wrong. I use the same cable for the Skybox that I do for the PlayStation. So I was lifting the PlayStation up to put the cable in, because Sony can't make it easy. It never goes in flush. You have to try a couple of times before you can get the bleeding wire in. Yeah, well, with all the shaking around that I was doing on it, I knocked over a few of me figures. So I was like, oh man, I have to move them. So me thinking, okay, I'll put them up higher and out of the way, it'll be grand. But I didn't figure that I would literally forget where they were, stand up and bang off them, and then they all fell down. And yeah, I lost a few heads. To be honest, the heads are removable. Oh no, these were all one thing. So I think it was a mold, and then they were painted. So when the head cracked off, when it fell, the head cracked off. I lost a couple of arms as well. Look, I'm. Someone brought it up. I'm actually devastated now, even talking about it, man. Man, it still annoys me. Yeah. I've been working for Queen Victoria. Yeah, I came from the past. Uh, Obviously, we have time machines in the past. I mean, stole the doctor's Tardis and yeah, came here because I wanted to avoid the plague and stuff. You know, I heard that Ireland is in a bad state right now because of certain protests. Is that true? You don't have to discuss it, but I'm curious, guy. Sometimes too much. Um, yes. Um, I'm going to be doing a member stream on that. I mean, see, I have to be kind of careful what I talk about on the channel. So member streams gives me a bit of license to do and discuss topics that I don't discuss on the main schedule. Um, so I'm going to be talking about that on the member stream soon. But yeah, if you want to hear my opinion on that, then if you want to consider, there's two tiers. If you want to consider being a member, you can go ahead. But yeah, Ireland, me country, right? So this is what's happened in the space of a year. The Gardaí have lost. Gardaí, by the way, are police guards. We call them over here, or the Gardaí. Um, they have lost absolute complete control of Dublin City. The youth are beating up cops. We've actually had more assaults on Garda this year than we've had in our um, well, since I've been alive. Anyway, I've never seen so many attacks on the Gardaí uh, in my life. On top of that, there's protests going on in this country, like there is in most countries around the world, in France, England, um, any country that's basically that was or is part of the EU. It's quite funny that the EU dictates all of these things, and then what they don't realize is they're actually ruining the fabric of each country. Um, so right now, the Irish people who are being called far right. So the same thing that people in America are being called the far right now. Apparently, we have a far right in Ireland. That's the first I've heard of a far right in Ireland. Um, Irish people do have their opinions and they're very opinionated. Okay, um, and my people have been through a lot, right? 800 years of occupation too. So we kind of know what it's like, to be discriminated against and all of this other stuff. But when your country's been run poorly for the last few decades, and then all of a sudden you're told by Europe, well, you've got to take in a certain amount of people. In the meantime, you got people in your own country that can't even put a roof over their heads, are struggling to pay bills, right? And then they're bringing all of these people in. Okay, and then they're setting them up in hotels, they're setting them up in hostels, and they're setting them up beside schools and all of this, right? And of course, what the media don't talk about is there's been a few incidents over the last 6, 7 months, but the media don't talk about, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't want to go into too much detail because this is obviously for Doctor Who. But let's just say my country has joined the madness just like the rest of the world, and I'm a fucking shamed because I thought in this country we actually had half a fucking brain. But it looks like, just like the rest of the world, Ireland has been infiltrated by the left, or the radical left, and the loonies are running the asylum. Yeah, I think they were Eagle Moss. So, like, and then someone's just had to say an Eagle Moss went under, so I can't even replace them. So there you go. I'm thinking of going to Ireland a few days away, quick holiday. Anywhere you would recommend to avoid tourist traps? Waterford, Killarney, Galway, they're all tourist traps. Um, I mean, wherever you go in Ireland, especially the west of Ireland, it's a tourist trap. But Galway is lovely. Killarney is lovely. And I've been to Waterford. I wouldn't really go to Waterford. No offense to anybody that lives in Waterford, but for what I remember, actually no, there was loads. Yeah, there's actually a good few places in Waterford. What am I saying? You could go to Wexford as well. Wexford is pretty nice. Ooh, I don't know now. I mean, if you're bringing your girlfriend and you want something kind of romantic, probably won't cost you a fortune. There's a place just. Hold on. Nah, man, welcome to the jungle. Will you feck off, man? I thought my cut. Nah, man. And every day I'm seeing something, right? And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Right. There's a place in Wicklow. So it's just outside Dublin, right? It wouldn't be as expensive as the rest of the places that you're actually considering. I definitely wouldn't be. Listen, it costs you a fortune in Waterford, Killarney, and Galway, right? So my suggestion is this place here, and it's ideal for a couple. There's a few hotels or B&Bs, whatever you want to stay in. You got a nice relaxing area, plenty of pubs. But it's called Blessington Lake, and it's in Wicklow, and it's beautiful. There's a big activity centre there as well, where you could do activity, archery and all of that other stuff if you're into all of that. It's a proper outdoorsy place. And as I said, you've got the pubs there, you've got the lake there. You could sit there in the evening with a blanket, listen to the water, take the views in, and then, retire to your hotel or B&B. So Blessington Lake, mate, in County Wicklow, if you're looking for somewhere to go. And also, it's not too far away from Dublin either. If you want to go into Dublin City for the last day or something, just to do a bit of shopping, but obviously don't go to the tourist traps like Temple Bar and stuff like that. If you do decide to go to Dublin, let me know, and I'll set you right, and I'll tell you where to go, where you won't be charged absolutely disgusting prices for food and drink, Um. So yeah, there you go. I don't know if that's any help to you. I don't know if you like the original Top Gear with Clarkson, but have you watched Clarkson's Farm too? No, I haven't watched Clarkson's Farm yet, but I am a fan of the Grand Tour. So yeah, that's a show me and Cheryl want to actually check out, but we haven't checked it out yet. Yeah, welcome to the Jung. Yeah, no way, man. It's all package deals, so it's all sorted for us. Yeah, well, listen, just as I said, always, if you're going into these places, my suggestion is always go into the main town of these places, right? Because the main town where you see a lot of people do their shop and stuff like that, That's how you know you're not in a tourist trap. Trust me, you won't see many. You will see Irish people on Temple Bar. I'm not saying you don't, but you won't see many Irish people on Temple Bar, right? Because even we know we're not going to pay £9 for a pint of fucking Guinness. So you're out your fucking mind. You literally go around the corner from Temple Bar, and you'll be charged the proper pint for a pint of Guinness or a pint of beer. That's the thing about it. You've got Temple Bar. It's a big long street, right? But if you obviously you see little laneways, if you come out one of those little laneways there might be a pub on the corner, right? And you'll get the beer like 7-8 quid cheaper than what Temple Bar be charging you. That's what I mean. I do see a lot of tourists. So someone put up a post on Twitter that gained a lot of traction and was kind of like, well, it's your own stupidity for not doing the simple research. Because if you had asked anybody, right, you don't go to Temple Bar if you're a tourist. It's a tourist trap. You just don't. So if you don't do the basic research, because people remember, travelers come to Ireland quite a lot. You got a lot of hen doos and stag doos from the UK that come over here. They come to Ireland for their hen and stag doos, right? All of those people would have warned. They pour up on bulletin boards everywhere, right? That Temple Bar is a tourist trap. So if you're not, it's the same if I go anywhere, right? I'm going to research the place and find out where the tourist traps are in this place and avoid them like the plague. The Warped Eyebrow says, I was watching the Type 40 podcast yesterday, and some of the comments made on there about Shooty's costume and stuff just keeps me on cautious mode. But I think Shooty's era will have better acting. I do agree. Raymond says, I think it's impossible to be worse than the Whitaker era. I would take a lot of effort to make it that bad. It's definitely going to be better, but I want it to be at least Matt Smith popular. Yeah, it will be better. I mean, that's a guarantee. I mean, it can't be any worse than what we've gotten the last 5 years. You're absolutely spot on. So I'm just going to check me messages there because I just want to make sure. Anyway, look, if we'll see what co-hosts, if Chris could be wrapped up and work again, a double shift. We'll see. He said he'll keep me informed. Haven't heard from Lee yet, but I'm pretty sure he will be here. But either way, we will be live at 9 o'clock. If I end up being on my own, I'm on my own, and I will cover what we need to cover. And then, you know what I mean, we'll keep it going. Because as I said, I want to keep to the schedule. So either way, we'll be live. So join me at 9 o'clock tonight. That's an hour and a half from now. So I'm going to go off and actually have something to eat this time now. Because the last time I said that, I didn't get to have anything before I came on. So I'm going to do that now. So I'll see you at 9 o'clock for the Tardis Zone Talks. No, for Friday Night Contact. Sorry. This has been the Tardis Zone Talks. So thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. As I said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That's how you support the channel. Leave a comment as well if there's anything that was brought up today or on this stream that you want to discuss. Please do. And Cinnamon says there on this website it's quite easy. You pick where you want to go, how long, and the travel and activities and hotels is all sorted for you, which is fantastic. Well, that's brilliant, mate. That's brilliant. I'll be on with Daniel. Yeah, I do know Daniel is doing a podcast. So if you still want to join me for Friday Night Contact and you just want to get more, I'm pretty sure they're talking Doctor Who or whatever it is they're going to be covering. If you want to go and check out Daniel's stream, go ahead and do so, and come and watch me then, and maybe after. Or if not, I'll see you here tonight at 9 o'clock. So yeah, come and join me. I look forward to our company this evening, and we will talk to you very, very soon. See you soon, guys. Bye.